Okay, let's say you're a Yankees fan. You're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, you see someone wearing a Red Sox jersey. What's going on for you in that moment? You're probably thinking, oh, they're going to lose. Why would they waste their time on such a wussy of a team? What's wrong with them? Oh, what a bad choice. And so there's a little bit of tension. There's a little bit of potential conflict that's going on in there, which in sports, it's pretty healthy to have. And it's something that is very fun. And what is happening there often also happens with teams within organizations. And what's going on is a bit of divisiveness and us versus them. So today, what we're going to be talking about is what brings groups together, what tears them apart, and what we can do to try to really create a connectedness between different groups, right? So within an organization, you might have marketing versus sales. There might be a lot of tension there. You might have designers versus the engineering team. There might be some tension there. And so we want to just be mindful of this. And I want to start off with helping you understand of what is something that helps, or what are the things that really brings a group together. So kind of the basics and fundamentals here of what brings a group together are shared values and beliefs. I'm a part of this group because I believe in something and they believe in the same thing. We have the same values, the same beliefs. I'm from New York. I believe in the New York team. So that's why we're a part of the Yankees here. That's why we believe in the Yankees, because they're from New York, and New York has grit and can fight through anything. So we're part of a group because, again, it aligns with what we believe and what we value. And when we're part of a group, we also start to feel empowered, right? Because we're finding other people who think similar to us. Oh, you're a Yankees fan? Me too. You know, if you're in Florida and you go into a bar and you meet someone who's wearing a Yankees jersey and you are a Yankees fan, instant connection, right? So again, this is something that can feel really empowering for others when they find other people who are like them. And that's a big reason why groups come together. Groups also help satisfy a core human need of safety. It's in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I know it's an old model, but it's still a goodie. And it's really about when I'm with these people, we all believe in the same thing. So I can feel that I'm in a safe space with other people who feel similar to me, right? And again, it brings about a sense of belonging and togetherness in that space. Now, what about when groups have divisiveness, when there's two groups here and they're not getting along? Well, it's because now there's a conflict in our perception of what we see. So, for example, I see that this group here, we are all Yankees fans, and so we all believe in the power of New York. And so we're connected on that, and we're doing that. The reason, and when we connect on these things and when we align on these values, we know that we're right. We're right. We have to be, because we all are in this group together and we all believe the same thing. So we are right. But what happens when there's another group that has a different perspective? Well, if I'm right and they have a different perspective, they can't be right. They have to be wrong. So now you have this mentality of, because we're in this group, we're right. People think differently from us, they must be wrong, right? So this is the beginning of what creates some divisiveness between groups, is just this idea of we're right, you're wrong, and so you're over there and you're just being wrong and we're right. So that's the start of it. But now let's go another layer deeper. And this is more how us versus them happens, is that people start assigning morality. So what does that really mean? Well, the people who are right are also considered good people, because a good person wouldn't want to just be in something that was wrong. So if I'm right, that also means that you're right in my group. That means that we're right. But now if this group is wrong and we're right, well, we're good, what does that make the other group? Bad. And so what happens is, again, this assigning morality of right versus wrong, and then the right is good and the wrong is bad. So now when we have that good versus bad, classic rivalry right there. Yankees good, Red Sox bad. And so when this happens in our teams, this creates the divisiveness. This is the us versus them. This is how that divisiveness really kind of sinks in, because, marketing has your own perspective and they're right because of this, and sales has their own perspective and they're wrong because they don't see what we see. Okay. So that kind of mentality is what happens. And it's just kind of very natural in our culture for those type of things to happen. A lot of times it happens and we don't even really recognize or see that it does. So what do we start doing about this? What do we start doing to bring a divided group together? The first place is to come from a place of curiosity. Seek to understand before being understood. Curiosity before judgment. These are principles that I've seen when working with teams that has been very helpful to help bring a divided group together. So what does that actually look like? Well, as someone who's part of a group and sees that this other group is bad, first thing that you can do is start asking questions and being curious about the other group. Try to understand why they believe what they believe in. Don't judge it just yet. Just get curious about it. Ask those questions and look to really try to understand what it is that they care about, what it is that matters to them, why they view the things that they do. And in that, you often find some commonalities that the groups can really come together on. You're a Red Sox fan, I'm a Yankee fan, but we both can appreciate baseball. We can all appreciate the idea of people coming together for a live event. We can all appreciate someone who's able to just keep hitting home run after home run. So there's a lot of things to look into that we can find commonality together. And the first way to do that is to remove judgment, be curious, and try to understand before being understood. The more you understand, the more you'll find the commonalities. And so you could do that with any type of groups, any type of teams where there's a divisiveness together. Get an aligned vision. Start looking outside of your own groups and think of what's the bigger mission, what's the bigger vision there. I hope this was helpful. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about how you and your teams can come together in a way that's much more collaborative, go ahead and click on the link below, and we have a free resource for you. So where you'll be able to kind of go through a process of bringing a group together. I hope this was helpful for you. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time with us today. Have a great day.